In this video, I'm going to talk about CIS30A, Lab 3, Exercise 12. Some of the other prior questions, you might want to check out the lecture video. Because I go over some of the details in file operations in the lecture video, so you might want to check that out. For number 12, it asks you to create a module to verify customer input. If it is digit or alphabet, store the input as a text file, customer info.txt, read and display the stored data from file. The program would then need to prompt the customer to enter name, age, phone number, marital status, then use the module to check the input and store, read, and display customer information. So to start, what we need to do is we need to start with the module. So our module is customer info, and we would have various definition of function. So first, we would start with the function check name, and we would use the name variable in the parameter for this function. And we wanted to implement the if-else statement. If name is alpha, we would print it. Else, we would ask them to re-enter their name or enter a valid name. So if they key in number and letters, they would need to re-enter the name. Next function, we're going to check age. And for the age, we're going to verify that it is a digit, just numbers only. If it is, then we are going to print it. If not, if they key in letters and numbers, we're going to ask them to enter the valid age. Then we would next check for phone number. So we have a function to check phone. And we use phone as the variable for this parameter. Then we have if-else statement. If phone is digit, we are going to print the phone number. Else, we are going to ask the user to enter a valid phone number. So if they key in numbers and letters, they will be asked to re-enter the information. Next, we're going to check for marital status, and marital variable is used here. We wanted to make sure that it is alphabet only. So if it doesn't, then we're going to ask them to re-enter their marital status. And lastly, we have two additional functions. Number one, we're going to store the information and write it to a file. After that, we're going to read from the file what is stored. So the first function, we have store info, and we're going to use these variables. And if you're not sure, you can also use the placeholder as we talk about the asterisk in our lecture. So I'm going to use name, age, phone, and marital for this function. To start, we would have it open the file called customerinfo.txt and write to it. We're going to go ahead and write the name on one line, age on the next line, phone number on the third line, and marital status after that, and then close. After it finished, it should tell us that the information is stored or saved. After it's saved, we're going to go ahead and have it read the info from the file. So I have anrinfo function here using the same variable as the previous. I'm going to have to reopen the file. So open file and file name. And we're going to send it to read mode. And then we can do a file read. You can also do read lines where it would read individual line. And then after we read it, we're just going to have it close. So we are going to go ahead and run this program. It asks me to answer the question. So first we are going to run the module. Then next we're going to write the program. So to write the program, we would go ahead and import the module. And here you need to use the exact name as your module name. Okay. Then we are going to print. Please answer the following questions. First, we're going to ask the user to enter their name by using input method and store it into the name variable. Next, we're going to ask them to enter their age and store it into the age variable. Next, we're going to have them enter their phone number, store it in phone. And next, we're going to have them input marital status and store it in marital. After we have them input their information, then we're going to invoke the methods that we use in the module. So we would have customer info, which is the module. We use the dot operator, and we would call on each of the function to verify their information. Then next we are going to invoke the store info function. So that way we would save the data to the file. And then lastly, we would then read the info. So here we would call on the function with the parameters there, the variables, to be able to read from that file. And then we can show, finish, or thank you at the end. So I'm going to go ahead and run this now. After I built out the module, it's going to ask me, please answer the following question. Enter your name. I'm going to go ahead and put Casey. My age. Enter the phone number. Marital status. So here, first, it tells me that this is the information that I entered. It stored that into the file, and then it read it back to me. So just to check, we can go in and we are going to open up the text file. And here you can see that it has my information that I entered. So that worked. Again, to recap, we started with the module, write the definition to verify the customer information, and to definition of the function to store and read the info. Then we create the main program where we import in that module, ask the user to enter the information, store it into the variable, and then we're going to call on the functions and use those variables as parameter throughout the program, including the store info and read info. And then we'll complete the program. So as you can see, this is how we can use the module with the program to verify customer information or input. And this concludes Lab 3, Exercise 12.